So this is a huge box, and I want to show you how big the teleprompter is. Let's see. Do you see it? Does it make sense? So does this mean that the X17 is not good? But I'm not seeing the same option over here. So I have to check this more, because this might change everything. Now let's talk about my decision. Hello everyone, I wanted to do a quick video about the teleprompter that I'm testing right now. So the one that I set up is the Neewer X17, which I got a couple of weeks ago. But I started thinking more and more about it, and maybe that I don't really need it. The idea was that I would be able to generate much more content for YouTube and have a script ready without having to look around for the script. Considering that English isn't really my mother tongue, I felt that this would finally give me some advantage, because I usually stumble around trying to speak to the camera. Now, I don't plan on using the teleprompter for everything, but at least for a lot of videos, especially if I decide to do a daily or like a video every couple of days, this will help me ramp up production, right? So first, I want to show you the X17. This is the box of the X17. And you gotta understand, this arrived in a box that was like almost twice its size. So, and it is heavy. So I was kind of concerned, thinking like I won't have space for it in the office. Hey Dodo. I guess the audio of this video is gonna be sponsored by my youngest. So this is the box, and it's a pretty cool box. You see it? No. I was worried about the cat because like she jumps on the little couch where my daughter is lying down right now, or sitting, I guess. You gotta see this. Hey, go to bed. Okay, so let's go back to this. So this is a huge box, and I want to show you how big the teleprompter is. So I'm just gonna take a quick video of it. There you go. So, and this is the light down that I have. So it's a pretty big one. And the idea is you look into the camera, you don't really see the camera here. You look at the mirror, but I realized that I'm using only a small portion of the whole area. So I usually put up my phone, and I don't even use the whole, let me switch here. I don't even use the whole width of my phone, which is basically like 30% of what this real estate is width-wise. It's much less than 30% of that in terms of the whole square. But I realized that, okay, you know what? Maybe I don't need the X17. Maybe I need something smaller, because if you try to use the whole width of the phone, or if you try to use an iPad or a tablet that's 17-inch big, your eyes are gonna start basically darting around, and you're gonna look like this, right? Which is kind of weird. Like you don't want something like this, because it's not really natural, and your audience are gonna catch up on that. So I got the X17. Here's the box. Let's close it up a little bit. So this is the whole box. Now, compared to this, I think this is all what I'm gonna need. And it even arrived like this, so we're gonna make it even smaller by getting this out. Okay, now this is a real, like, comparable size. Let's see. Do you see it? Does it make sense? So, does this mean that the X17 is not good? No, it's amazing, and I like the whole idea of it, but I will try to do another like separate review video for it. But I would say right now, if you are considering the X17, consider it if you are doing like some kind of news segment and you need to sit a little bit further away from the camera, because that's when it's going to be useful, so that you see the text and your eyes are going to look natural reading all the news or whatever that you are doing. So you have to be far away from the camera. If you are doing a talking headshot for YouTube, then you don't need the X17 at all. I think it's too big for what you would be needing. So I still have to set this up. Unfortunately tonight, I'm going to be playing Call of Duty, so I won't be setting up this teleprompter tonight. But yeah, it's much smaller than the X17. And I think that's going to be enough. Honestly, it's kind of huge. I still have some kind of like buyer's remorse over the light dome that I got, because honestly, it's huge. It makes a lot of difference, but it's still very huge for what I would need, for what I need for my YouTube channel. So I think this is enough. Let me know in the section below if you have any questions, and I will do my best to answer them. Now I have to try to find the youngest one. Hey, go to bed. I have to take care of the family right now, and I'll do the editing later, but I hope this has been informative. If you like the video, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. I would really appreciate it. And if you have ideas of what you would like me to review later on, go ahead. Just a little note here. I do not plan on using teleprompter for everything. I still want to use the YouTube channel as a way to improve, or as a way to improve my public speaking skills, my presentation skills, whatever you want to call it. So I feel like using the teleprompter all the time, this is not going to really help, but using it most of the time, it's going to help me ramp up production. So take care.
One eternity later.
So I think I set up the X12 properly now.
Meanwhile,
it's weird. It's supposed to take less real estate because it's smaller, but then I have to lift it higher and expose more stuff going around. So yeah, it's a really tough decision to decide on which camera to go with, especially that I feel this is not like leveled. I don't know why, but even my chair is kind of messed up, which I know that. Sorry about my clothes again. So I know that my chair is not very level, but yeah, I think this makes more sense, at least economically, because I cannot justify having the X17, especially that I'm not really using a secondary monitor as like for my Teams or like teleconferencing, whatever I need for that. The X17 definitely feels like it's a higher value, it's a nicer looking, higher end kind of device or gadget, but I don't think I really need it. So I think the decision is going to be the X17 needs to go, and I'm going to keep the X12 because this covers my needs for at least right now. The X17 has a lot of like nice finishes. Even the screen itself, like when I close it, oh, you can adjust the height too. Oh, if you want to do that, you can easily. While with the X12, you have some kind of nuts here that you can loosen if you need to, but it's kind of stable. This is definitely made to stay where it is. I had to zoom the camera in a little bit because the ends of the teleprompter were showing, so I had to zoom in a little bit, even though the camera is really close, so I had to do that. The X17 has the option to lift the camera, to lift the base or lift the internal base, let's say, so that you do not have to see the ends of the teleprompter and you can have the camera right on the middle of the screen. Right now, I would say it's on This is the camera. I see the lens a little bit. Maybe some light is seeping through from the back. So the lens is here. It's not really in the middle. And I don't think there's any way to do that. There's no flexibility to take it up or down. So if you see here, there is a whole mount that adjusts like width-wise movement, which you kind of move. You can do the movement here a little bit, and you can basically connect the camera here, but I'm not seeing the same option over here. So I have to check this more because this might change everything. Okay, now that we went over everything that I experienced setting up the X12 and the X17 and the high-level experience that I had, let's make things more organized by creating a simple table and telling you what was my decision at the end, which device I decided to keep. So first, in terms of tablet size, the X17 wins. The X12 is good for anything that's smaller than 12 inch. I know the name 12 makes you think that the tablet is okay for 12 inch. The teleprompter is good for 12 inch tablets, but it's not the case. And if you go to the website, you will see that. I'll try to put the screenshot here somewhere. And in terms of portability, the X17, the X12 wins because the X17 is simply huge. I wouldn't move it too much. It takes more space, and I realized because of the setup that I have in my office, it blocks some of the light of the light dome. So I cannot bring products closer and closer to the camera, to the teleprompter that is as well, because the light there is virtually non-existent, or there is a shadow over there. So I think the X12 would make more sense for that kind of use case, let's say. And now in terms of height, the X17 wins because I kept on bringing the camera behind the glass of the X12 closer and closer to the glass to avoid seeing the ridges, you know, like there's the place, the handler or the carrier for the tablet. You see just the end of it. So I kept bringing the camera closer and closer to avoid seeing it, but I still had to zoom in a little bit, and that made me worry a little bit because I'm waiting on Canon to give us options for like wide lenses for the R50 that I bought like a month or 2 months ago. So I'm kind of worried about that with the wide lens, like wide angle lens, like what's gonna happen. So I'm thinking for the future, I decided that that's gonna be an issue for me. I like how the X17 has the option to increase the height or to adjust the height of the base for the camera behind the glass. So that's a big thing for me. So let's move forward. In terms of usability, I think the X12 is perfect if you are starting a YouTube channel. Yes, you will have some limitations, but it does what it's supposed to do. I don't think you need a tablet that huge to use the teleprompter, because if you use a big tablet and you are sitting very close to the camera or very close to the teleprompter, then your eyes are gonna dart around all over the place, and that's not gonna look good in your video. Trust me, it's gonna look so fake that it's not gonna work. But for the X17, which is an overkill if you're starting a YouTube channel, but for the future, if you want to have some kind of video where you are far away from the camera, let's say like 3-4 meters or something, like you're talking about the news or something, while standing up, like it's a bigger like studio environment, then you need the X17, and your eyes are not gonna dart around because you're still looking from a further distance, so it's gonna look more natural and you'll be able to see the text. It's worth saying that when I'm doing YouTube videos while testing the X17, I used only my Z Fold phone from Samsung, and I basically used, I guess, third of the real estate that I have on the screen. So that was enough for me, and that made the recording or reading the script really natural for the YouTube video that I was working on. Now let's talk about price. On Amazon, the X12 goes for $199 Canadian, while the X17 goes for $339. Now you can wait for certain events, or I noticed that the price fluctuates, so you don't have to wait and buy. You don't have to buy right away. You can just monitor the price and get deals on that. And I think that's how I got the X17. Actually, I got a nice deal on it before. I don't remember the exact price, but that's how I got it. I'll try to find the receipt for that. But because of the lower price, I would say the X12 is better, again depending on the use case. Now let's talk about my decision. I went with the X17. I really like the flexibility that the X17 gives. I know that I have to move the light around a little bit to fix the shadow issue because of the light dome being above the teleprompter, but being future proof and having the flexibility of moving the camera up or down behind the glass, this is worth it for me. So I decided to keep the X17 and return the X12. It might be a different case for you, right? That's why I gave you all the information. It might be a different thing, but I thought that I would give you all the information and then you decide on your end. There you have it, folks. This video took over probably 2 weeks between all the testing of the X17 and then the testing of the X12. Mounting the X12, deciding that the X17 has to go, and then looking at the boxes and then putting the X17 back and deciding that the X12 has to go based on the PowerPoint slide that I showed you earlier in the video. So you're probably gonna see me, you're definitely gonna see me with different shirts. Keep in mind that I'm a new YouTuber and I'm a husband, I'm a father of 2 amazing daughters. So life can get hectic sometimes. I also received some news that my contract is ending soon abruptly, so I had to deal with that and with other stuff as well. Anyways, if you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video, maybe even sharing it with your fellow creators so that they know what they're dealing with when it comes to the newer X12 or to the newer X17. Thank you so much for watching and have a nice day.